Hey y'all, for Foodie Friday, we're gonna make air fryer biscuits and gravy casserole.
All while having a whole lot of fun.
Oh my lord.
Look at how it's nice and bubbly. Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. I am Cris from RecepesThatCrock.com.
I am Mikey from RecepesThatCrock.com.
And today is Foodie Friday, so we have got a yummy dish that I'm so excited to share with you today. We have a low-carb biscuits and gravy casserole.
Yeah, now let's stop. Just for a second. We gotta stop. We gotta talk. So I'm really working on this whole low carb thing, right? And some things I miss in life are, you know, French fries, rice, soda pop, all kinds of stuff like that. But the main thing I miss is something I grew up on. Made me the man I am today, and that's biscuits and gravy. That's every redneck's dream for breakfast. So when you go low carb, you think, I can't have biscuits and gravy no more. And I got sad. But let me tell you, she found a good biscuits and gravy recipe that is low carb. And then she says, I want to make a casserole out of it. And she worked on it, and she worked on it, and she worked on it. She thought she finally had it perfected. And then she told me to go make it this morning, and I made it, and guess what? It was perfect. So you can totally have biscuits and gravy on a low carb diet. And we're going to show you how right now. And that was story time for the Foodie Friday biscuits and gravy casserole. Now let's talk about the stuff that we need to put it all together. Our magic ingredients.
Okay, we got two parts going here. We're going to have our gravy.
Yes.
And we're going to mix that up. And what we have inside here, do we want to show them? Because I'm kind of a little blocked out. We have the air crisper basket down, and then the bucket pan inside.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're doing, you can do this in a traditional air fryer too. Same deal. Put it in the air fryer basket, in the barrel pan, and that's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do.
And I want to show them about that too. So you got your pan. This is what all your ingredients are going in. I put that in the air fryer basket. That way, one, it's gonna circulate that air all the way around. It's not just gonna cook your biscuits on top, but it's also gonna keep everything hot down below. Trust me, it's gonna work out. Let's take that bucket out of the
Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna form the gravy part. Mike has already fried up a pound of
ground sausage.
Yes. We have a half a brick or 4 ounces of cream cheese that we heated in the microwave for 30 seconds so that it's nice and creamy so it can mix in.
Then you have...
Start up here.
I'm going to start up here.
Yeah. Then we have a half a cup of heavy cream, a half a cup of water, and then I believe a half teaspoon of... garlic powder. And then a teaspoon of xanthan gum. See, there's your weird chemistry for the day. Yes. So you don't have to have this, but if you don't put this in, then your gravy isn't going to be as thick as what it would. This is just a thickener. You can get this on Amazon. I'll make sure it gets put in our influencer shop so you guys... And it was relatively inexpensive. I don't remember how much I paid for this bag, but this bag has lasted forever. So I would say it's one of those things that once you start to cook a little bit more low carb, and you want your sauces and those kinds of things to thicken, like I'm even thinking I'm going to start making some barbecue sauce with this and thicken it up a little bit.
That takes the place of flour, like in gravy, or if you're going to use cornstarch, I think it's a sugar derivative, I believe.
Well, it doesn't say that. It just says that it's made out of xanthan gum.
I googled it this morning because I'm like, what is xanthan gum? And I believe it's a sugar derivative, and it's used as a thickening agent. A lot of restaurants use it to thicken a lot of things.
Sure. But it is 0 net carb.
Yes.
It's 7 carbs with 7 carbs of dietary fiber. So there you go.
You're gonna get some fiber in there.
Yeah, it's just a way of kind of doing that. So
now we're gonna
put together the gravy inside. Or are you gonna?
I'm gonna go ahead and put the sausage in there.
Okay, you're gonna put it in a bowl and mix it together, and then we're gonna pour it into the barrel pan.
Yeah, I don't like mixing in that barrel pan. One, it's kind of small to do a mixing job, and two, now I'm using a non-metallic thing, but sometimes I use spoons, and I don't want to use that.
And you get in trouble for that.
I do, because I've learned you don't use metal on those kind of things, or else you get yelled at quite a bit. I'm not gonna tell you who. All right, so we got our sausage in the bowl. And then we're going to put our brick of melted cream cheese in the bowl. Just like that. Is my lens dirty?
Yeah.
Woo. Well, some of it went on the counter. I'll clean that up later. Xanthan gum, right in there. And all we're going to do is just dump it all in. There's my garlic powder. There's my water. And my heavy cream, whipping cream.
I didn't mention we want to also do salt and pepper to taste.
Yes. And I'm just going to do, because you could do more salt if you want to later on top, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is what I used in the magic ingredients this morning, so that recipe turned out good. I'm going to do the same here. Now if you look, it's running. It doesn't look like it's going to do anything. But I'm telling you, that xanthan gum, it works just the same. I can't even say it right. Xanthan gum, it works just the same. It starts to thicken up over time, just like if you were using cornstarch.
When it cooks.
Yes. Actually, even before it cooks, it'll start to set up a little bit now. In fact, it's starting to thicken up already.
Okay.
But that, you get it mixed up good, just like that. And all I'm going to do is put it down in what I call the golden bucket.
The golden.
Yeah. Just try to make sure it doesn't splatter everywhere.
If you guys are looking for these pans, they're also in our Amazon influencer shop. It's just your typical air fryer kit. Most of them come with the bucket pans. We have a couple different.
And I want to make sure that that sausage is evenly distributed, because that will thicken up, especially when it cooks. And you want a good hunk of sausage with every bite. And that, of course, you fling a little on your counter like I did. Oh.
So now we're going to make the biscuit topping. And we've tried this multiple ways. I have been experimenting with this recipe
all week.
All kinds of ways. And I tried making the biscuits first, and I figured out the way that I like it the best is with a crumble biscuit topping over the top. And so Mikey has perfected that technique, so I'm going to let him, he loves it anytime I tell him he's perfect.
That's right. Well, I don't hear it quite that often. Okay, so for your biscuit topping, this is the crumble that's going to go over the top. You're not making, you're making pretty much biscuits, but you're going to crumble it over the top. I'll show you in a minute. You need a half a stick of cubed butter. It might be a little soft now at room temperature. That's fine. You don't want it melted though. You want to have a 1/4 of a cup of water. You want to have another ½ teaspoon of garlic powder. And then you want to have a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, whipping cream.
And salt too.
And then salt, we'll go in this too, about a 1/4 teaspoon, something there, just to give it a little life. So we'll move the pepper right away, don't need that. So I'm going to take, first off, I'm going to take my butter. Let my beautiful wife be my camera assistant. And I'm going to put it in there. And then before I get going with anything else, I want to mix that butter and incorporate it into your Carb Quick. Now, you can use a butter cutter. I couldn't find mine, but I got 10 butter cutters. They're on my hands. And just kind of incorporate it in there a little bit.
So this is Carb Quick, which is like a low-carb version of Bisquick.
That's our dog.
Yes, and that's Ollie being very noisy.
Silence! He won't listen.
If you're not low-carb, you could definitely try this recipe with Bisquick.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it'll probably become similar. I don't know about how they make their biscuits, but you could just make a batch of biscuits. This is enough to make 6 biscuits traditionally, and so just make a batch of biscuits with your Bisquick and use it as the crumble on top.
Now, when I put that butter in there like that, it gets all around all that Carb Quick.
But then it wouldn't be low carb. Let me be very clear.
We're doing low carb. You don't have to.
Yeah.
When you get that butter in there, what it does is when this heats up and starts to cook, that butter evenly spreads all throughout that Carb Quick or that Bisquick if you're going that route, and it gives it a crumbly feel in your mouth. That's the best way. It's not crunchy, but it's crumbly.
It's like a really good biscuit.
Like a really good cat head biscuit. If y'all know what in the South, I know y'all in the South know what a cat head biscuit is. Come on. In the North, we call them great big biscuits because they're as big as a cat's head. It's true. Look it up. All right. So
okay,
I got
show them what the consistency looks like once the butter's in there.
It's crumbly. You know, it's not. It's not floury.
There's not
anymore.
great big chunks of
no,
butter
there's not
in there.
great big chunks. You want to work in all those great big chunks and just to where you get crumbles like this, like breadcrumbs almost. Okay, so now your hands look like that. I don't care. Now I'm going to pour in my water, my whipping cream.
Now this is a 1/4 of a cup of water, 1/4 of a cup of whipping cream.
half a teaspoon of garlic powder.
I'll do your salt.
And then you do the salt because I got stuff all over and I'm not done. I'm going to keep my hands dirty. You put your salt in there, and then you can mix this with a fork if you want to, but it's going to turn into a ball. So again, clean hands or dirty hands from the Carb Quick. And I'm just going to turn that into a ball. If
for some reason you can't get it to form a dough, you can add maybe a tablespoon at a time, a little bit more water to help it. It'll all depend on the humidity and where you live, pretty much, is whether or not you need to add more. So you just want to have enough moisture in there for it to hold its form.
Yes. You're turning it into a dough ball. You're turning it into a great big biscuit, pretty much. It doesn't take long at all. It's already incorporated what I didn't throw on the counter. Just like that, you get yourself a dough ball. When it goes to not stick to your fingers as well, when it starts to fall off, that's when it's right.
Yep.
Like that. And I'm just going to make a ball out of that. Take up all the rest of it because you don't want to leave any of that biscuit behind. Trust me, you won't have any left behind. It's not good. I am a stickler for really good biscuits and gravy. And to be honest with you, if it's not real biscuits and gravy, I could pass. I really could. I made this morning, and I didn't even try any. I had Cris try it, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is the recipe. And so I took a bite, and then after I got done taking that bite, I went in and got a heaping plate full of it because it was just that good. So now, you got your ball. Looks just like that. Looks like a dough ball. And now, I want to take part of that dough ball, and I'm just going to crumble it up into crumbles, just like that. You know, like when I know some people, and you can put this in the comments down below, when you have biscuits and gravy, are you one of those that keeps the biscuits whole with the gravy poured over the top? Or do you like your biscuits torn up? I kind of like mine torn up, so this really works. But I'm just going to...
We're doing this at totally the wrong angle. I should be over there videotaping, I think.
Well, it's totally too late now.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Except I could move this.
There we go.
Look at that. Crumble it down. And you want to make sure and cover all your gravy. When you get done, and you'll have plenty here, when you get done, just make sure all that's covered up. You don't want to see any of that gravy. Because you want that top heat from the air fryer to be working solely on baking up.
Well, it'll be cooking your gravy down below, but you're going to be getting a nice,
but you're not getting any of that direct.
On top.
You're not getting any of that direct air on your top.
It's all going on the biscuit. And see how he's loosely putting it on top?
I'm not packing it down in there. I might pat it in places just to make sure I've covered up all my gravy. But
that's really important because when I was trying it with whole biscuits, what I found was the biscuit dough itself would kind of melt away, and it wouldn't it formed almost like more dumplings than it did biscuit, and I wanted the biscuit consistency. So we've tried it, we've been trying it with a crumble, and the crumble works so much better than the actual biscuits.
Look at that. Just like that, and I'm going to just kind of pat it in, because again, I don't want that air to really touch my gravy.
Nope.
Just like that.
It's got enough job with the biscuits.
Yep.
Okay, so into the air fryer or foodie it goes, and we are going to set this at 350 for 15 minutes. Depending on your air fryer, you might need to go up to 20 minutes, but ours gets things done in about
350 at 15 made it absolutely perfect. And that's all we do. I hit start. And I'm going to wash my hands, clean up our station, and you're going to see biscuits and gravy casserole in 3, 2, 1. And 15 minutes has come and gone, and it smells good in this kitchen. Take a look at that right there. See how it's all browned up? And you can see where I missed some spots and that's starting to bubble up. That's going to be okay. But look how good that biscuit crumble turned out. Why don't you bring it out of there because I'm hungry.
Yep. Okay, now I got to figure it out. Like, I'm awkward, so I'm going to come over here, so...
You got it?
Go. Yeah.
All right.
Watch out.
Look at that big old bucket of biscuits and gravy right there, y'all. One more time. Let's get a shot of that. That's so pretty. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to tear into that. In fact, I'm not gonna. So go ahead.
Well.
You wanna go ahead and spoon me out some?
So you just scoop you out some.
Scoop out some and see. Look. Well, you could kind of tell right there that gravy really thickened up.
There you go. There's the gravy.
Right. Look at that. It looks just like biscuits and gravy, because that's what it is.
I think you need to go visit the good folks.
Hi. I mean, hi. Check it out. Look how that turned around here. Just like gravy, it kind of thickened up just like gravy does. That is steamy. But then, I don't know. I don't think it'll really make a sound. Oh yeah, it will. Wow, that's hot. I am sacrificing my fingers to show y'all this. If I can get this right up to the microphone, I want you to listen. I don't know if you could hear it, but it's all crumbling.
Why are you playing with your food? Put it in your mouth.
Gosh. that biscuit topping, that crumble, if you crumble it like that, the way that butter distributes through there.
Yeah, the butteriness is the perfect.
It's really buttery. It crumbles under your tongue. That's the best way I can explain it.
And that gravy's nice and thick, thanks to the xanthan gum.
You could totally make this and serve it and not tell people that it was low carb, and they would praise you. The only way I could possibly make that better.
Oh, I know what he's gonna do. Maybe he is. He's standing at the fridge. Anybody are you looking for the jelly? Top shelf.
She's so good at that. I would have stood there for 10 minutes.
Is that the way it is at your house? I'll get calls sometime when I'm out.
She could be in Atlanta. Honey, I can't find this. She goes, look on the top shelf on the 3rd floor of the blah, blah, blah. I am a big fan of either blackberry or raspberry jelly, and we have some sugar-free blackberry jelly. And I put that over my biscuits and gravy. Y'all can call me weird if you want to. I don't care. It still tastes good. And that is biscuits and gravy.
Yes.
Low carb.
This is so yummy. This is definitely a recipe we are going to start making in the RV when we get back on the road, because I make biscuits and gravy a lot on the road, and I always have a pan or a skillet of gravy going, and then I have to make my individual biscuits, and it's kind of a big ordeal. I love that this all goes in one pot. I love the texture. It turns out a better texture than just making them separate. I love how easy this is. I am so excited about this recipe. For myself, oh, I'm throwing things, but for myself as much as I am for you. I'm very excited for you, but I'm really excited for me.
I'm excited too, because there's leftovers now.
And I keep throwing things, so we better go now. If you like this recipe, we'd love for you to give us a thumbs up. If you are not already a member of the Crock Posse, we'd love for you to subscribe down below.
Hit the little red button.
And become a member of our slow cooking family around here. If you'd like notified every time we upload a video, click that.
Ding-a-ling.
But whatever you do, we hope you
laugh often,
eat good food,
and speak life.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. Good job.
Don't you love it?
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon link below.